This is 1 hour of adopting the most dangerous pets in the world, starting with a pet piranha. Let's watch.
I picked it as these crazy evil fish that will eat anything they lay their eyes on.
Yeah!
But despite how deadly they're made out to be, for some reason, you can legally buy them to keep as a pet. So I'm gonna buy 6 piranhas.
Red belly
build them a
piranhas.
home, and test
6?
to see if they're
Only
actually
35
as
bucks?
vicious
That's
as the
not bad.
movies made them out to
One
be.
is
Yes,
enough.
I will be putting my hand inside of their
No!
Why would he do that?
He's a
So
psycho.
literally,
Piranhas are one of the only fish that have teeth. Like, they can literally bite you. They don't just suck, they munch and they tear and they wiggle.
Exactly. I think they might be more vicious than sharks.
I think it's like if you took a shark and you literally scrunched it down into a rat form.
Yeah, it's a mini shark.
Let's just put it like this. Would you guys rather go into a pool filled with 100 piranhas or 1 shark?
One shark.
One shark.
What? Yeah, me too.
day, the delivery van dropped off the package that supposedly had the cold-blooded killing piranhas. That was fast. I'm hoping all these guys survived the shipping, since as you can see, it's pretty cold out. But anyways, let's
They're
get
all
these
popsicles.
inside. So I got out this 20-gallon tank I had laying around and filled it up with some cycled water. Then I cut
Dang.
open the tape on the box
That's a
that
big
had
knife.
the piranhas inside.
He's gonna kill them by accident.
Oh shoot, bro! There's literally piranhas right under my.
He's gotta be more careful. I'd have a 10-foot pole.
And oh, I cannot believe I'm gonna be keeping these.
Yo.
What the heck?
Thankfully, every single piranha had survived the shipping,
Let's
so I put all
go.
6 of them into the tank.
They're so tiny.
Is there like a scientific reason why they don't just start gnawing each other and trying to eat each other?
Because they're not cannibals.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, good point, Alec.
I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty cute though. They're cuter than what I thought a piranha would look like.
They kind of remind me of goldfish a little bit.
Guys, don't get any ideas. Don't be crazy now.
I think they eat goldfish.
I eat goldfish. The snack that smiles back.
Goldfish.
Put them in, I realized they were barely moving and definitely not acting like normal vicious piranhas.
And look, I can literally
Interesting.
drop a cricket into the water, and usually
Okay.
they go crazy
GG's.
immediately eating that
He's
up,
dead.
But check it out, no reaction. at
What?
all.
You see, the reason they're not moving is because they need a way bigger tank with all the right stuff inside. So I got out a new
Wow,
tank
they're
and
stubborn.
filled it with 100 pounds of sand. We gotta do
Oh
this
my
because
goodness.
of course,
Wow.
the first step is creating
That's
the
like
floor
1/3
and
the size of Adam.
decorations. To continue this process, I started to use these sort of
Hey.
thin sticks and use a hot glue gun to hang them from the top of the enclosure.
Oh, here we
you
go.
see, these piranhas that I bought are red-bellied piranhas, which are supposedly the most vicious species, and they live in the Amazon River where there's all these roots and stuff hanging in the water. So that's what
Guys, how close are we to the Amazon River?
At least a couple thousand miles.
Okay, so like there should be a problem for us. Like the chances of us running into a flock of piranhas is like slim.
Yeah, no, you have a better chance of probably getting struck by lightning than getting bit in the toe by a piranha.
Unless you order them to your house, like this maniac.
I did not know this was legal.
Well, apparently he's gonna stick his hand in there eventually.
If it was me, I would just spin a wheel and whatever body part it landed on, I'd stick it right in there.
For money, right? For money?
Oh, I love pain.
Anyways, next up, it was time to use even more wood. You see, this time I want to stack up some thicker wood to make it look like a massive tree trunk is growing from out of the water. So I actually took the wood out and used some water-safe spray foam to connect all the pieces together with some
I love when he
branches
sprays out
coming off.
foam.
And then once all the spray
Sticky
foam
poo.
and stuff on it has dried, we just plop it in there like that, and boom, there we go. Check
Bang.
it out. You can even see the roots and stuff.
Right, but it's poking out of the
Whoa.
top.
But there's still
Don't worry about it, it's
decoration
aesthetic.
bits put inside
Piranhas
here.
can't
First
climb,
of all,
Alec.
you guessed it, just some more wood randomly scattered around, but then some rocks because
This is
pretty
all
much
gonna be
every
underwater.
Amazon riverbed has them. And
By the way.
finally, some pebbles like this, which I dropped around the enclosure, and some even tinier little pebbles,
Really?
which I also dropped around the enclosure, which makes the sand across the whole thing look a little more realistic.
Well, I'd say this is a pretty good
Great
start
idea.
to the base
I'm
of the
liking
tank,
it
but
so
now it's time for
far.
the fun part. Let's go get some aquatic plants for this.
That is not the
Okay,
fun
hang
part.
on, I'm not gonna lie, the aquatic
He's back
plants
at
that
Petco.
come
Dude,
with
14
little
bucks for a
algae
plant is
today,
insane.
All these plants are like
They're
yeah,
dead.
bro,
I
no
thought he
way
was
I'm
gonna
paying
go to,
$10 for a dead
Home
stick
Depot.
with a little leaf. But let's buy all the ones here that are alive.
Why go to Home Depot? Just go outside. There's many plants outside.
He has to buy stuff that's native to South America.
No.
No, but Adam, these are aquatic plants too. Like you can't just go take grass and put it underwater. It's going to suffocate. That's not how it works, Adam. You have to buy plants that specifically live underwater. That's like buying a fish and then trying to walk it outside and expecting it to work. It's not how it works.
Yeah, that ended badly.
All I'm saying, he should have went to Home Depot or Walmart. He would have saved himself probably 50%.
So I
Not
picked out all
sponsored.
the good plants and even found this little cool vine one, which of course I had to get to.
Ooh, that looks
so
like a
I drove
goldfish.
home and
He's
got
gonna use
all
that
the
for personal
plants
use.
out.
Oh man, this is already
Psycho.
the most plants I've gotten for a video, and that's not even including this big bag of leftover plants Petco had.
Anyways, I went and put each of the plants in the sand across the tank and filled it up with a bit of water.
So
That way
worth
the
it.
roots of the plants could stay nice and moist while we continued building.
Oh, and I almost forgot the most important part. This vine thing. Let's just put this across.
That just
the
looks like a
branches
long
like
turd.
that, and oh
Yeah.
That is not
Yeah.
worth it at all.
Looks like a vine.
Looks like an
next up, as
orangutan.
you can see,
That
I've
is
left this
awful.
little area here.
That was
empty.
not worth
That's
20
because
bucks.
I want to build a graveyard here with a ton of skulls
A
and stuff because
graveyard?
apparently piranhas are deadly. So I drove out to buy some.
Dude!
Okay, I'm at PetSmart first.
He needs to get a list. Get a list of everything you need so you don't have to keep driving to the store, then back, then to the store, then back.
Adam, has an idea never slapped you in the face? Sometimes you just get ideas and they're random, and then you're like, I guess I gotta go back to Petco. Happens to me at least once a week.
Skull decorations, I'm gonna get that. Ooh, and they got a tiny little animal skull. I'm definitely gonna get that too.
So I bought those and a couple more decorations with skeletons on them. Then after getting home, I put some of the larger skulls around in the sand. I even replaced some of the
that's
rocks
looking
in the
good.
back of
Halloween
them
is in
so this place would
October,
look
dummy.
extra spooky.
Then with these
Adam,
tiny
'cause
little
they're
skull
skulls,
beads,
'cause the
I'm gonna
piranhas
go and
kill.
paint them around in the sand. Just
Oi,
like that.
oi,
And I'm gonna
matey.
sprinkle a little bit of sand on top.
This is not Pirates of the Caribbean. What is he
There we
doing?
go. Check the graveyard out.
I hope the
That's
piranhas
pretty
don't
good.
try to
Bunch
eat
of
it.
Skulls on the floor, all those other big skulls. Yeah, I like it.
And now finally, to finish this tank, we gotta do the
is pretty
DIY
cool.
technologies. And for the first
What is
one,
that?
I have one of my coolest ideas ever.
What?
But I had to go buy
Oh
more
my
stuff at the
God!
store.
All right,
No.
so while since
No!
you
Walmart!
guys are
He's
kinda-
actually he's doing this.
Sorry, I'm returning to my
He's doing this on
basics, don't
purpose
worry.
to make
The
us
reason I'm
mad.
at Walmart is because I gotta get a bunch of food that the piranhas are gonna like.
So I got some beef, sardines, tuna,
Whoa.
and bone broth. And
Wait,
also got
I think
some
I'm a
They
piranha.
eat in the Amazon?
Wait, he's feeding them like real high quality beef. Like I don't even buy that for myself.
Wait, what?
And he's buying that for his pet piranhas.
These pet piranhas, they gotta be, the best piranhas of all time.
I want to watch his piranhas eat other fish. I want to watch him eat goldfish. I want to watch him eat Nemo and Dory, and I just want to watch them go to town. That's what I want to see.
I
Nobody
don't know what
knows.
you
No,
mean
nobody
by that.
knows.
Have we ever seen Baby versus 6 piranhas before? I haven't.
Alec, I just looked it up, and piranhas have never recordedly killed a person.
That's what they want you to know.
Weren't you the one that said they're more dangerous than sharks?
That's what I thought, but myth has been busted.
Oh my gosh. Wait, no.
They're scavengers,
Stay.
guys. They eat the remains of animals that
Oh,
other
they're like
things
the
kill.
vultures.
Exactly, guys.
Of
The sea.
water. Sea.
See.
Sea vultures.
After food, I just bought into the blender and blended it up.
Oh my
After it
God.
was done, as you can
Yo,
see,
that
kinda looks
it's
good.
This nasty liquid stuff.
Oh yeah, nasty
But
actually.
anyways, I sucked the liquid up
Is
into
there
the
meat in
syringe
there?
thing and brought it over
That looks like
to
a
the
strawberry
tank.
banana
This might
smoothie.
seem kind of complex, but it's actually genius. You see, I can basically squirt some of this.
I say that all the
water,
time
and it
to all
just
my
spreads
plants.
the scent around. And what I'm gonna do is attach it to the
Okay.
side of the enclosure, and whenever I want to get the piranhas mad and in hunting mode, I just squirt a little bit of this out the end. And it'll
Hey,
make
yo!
it
What
absolutely
the
crazy.
heck?
What?
Hey!
To the side of it was
This
done.
guy
And now the
loves
next technology is these
his
two
glue
water
gun.
pumps and some bubble walls. I started to set up across the whole back of the tank. You see, right now this stuff does nothing. But once I fill up the entire tank with some cycled water, which took
Okay.
a long time because of how big it was, check out what it can do.
All right, now if I go
Bubbles.
and plug in these pumps,
Bubbles.
as you can see, it
Bubbles.
starts to make bubbles.
Bubbles.
at the back of the
Bubbles.
enclosure.
That is pretty
Garbage.
cool.
Pretty cool.
Shark
Basically,
bait,
this little
hoo-ah.
air pump just blows air into this tube, which goes into there. But what I could actually do is unattach
the-
that and just
What's
blow
that noise?
it. into my-
What I can do is unattach that and then put it in my butt.
What the heck?
Then turn it back on.
No!
Ah, bubbles, bubbles.
Stinky bubbles.
Just keeps farting. A little bit of poop gets in there.
I mean, he did say DIY.
The piranhas turn mutant. They grow legs. They take over the world.
The internet is so lucky I don't have a channel like this.
Self to make bubbles.
Wow.
Oh!
That's a lot of bubbles.
This guy can blow.
Cool. Anyways, the last technology is this little fish.
No, not
actually already
Nemo.
shown this in a video
They're gonna
before.
trick
So what I've
the
got
piranhas.
is the upgraded version. Yeah, this one's way bigger and way cooler. Which, as you can see, if I just go and put
That is
it
a
in the
big
water
Nemo. It looks like it's
this,
upside
it
down.
starts to swim around like
No.
a normal
I think
fish.
they're gonna
Yeah,
get
I just
scared
think
of
it'd be
it.
funny if I maybe tested the piranhas to see if they try to eat it or something. Anyways, this tank
What's up
is
with
now
this
complete.
guy?
And speaking of the piranhas, it's time to get them inside.
Oh, yo, I just walked
Oh,
up
gosh,
to
are they all
piranhas.
dead?
They haven't seen me
What
yet.
kind of ritual
Look at
are they
what they're
doing?
They're like hunting around
They're doing
for
a
food
ritual.
Right now. What?
Ooh-ha-ha,
I'm gonna try my best
ooh-ha-ha.
to not get bit here. Oh, no.
So I grabbed the temporary tank they were in and brought it over to their new home so I could.
All right, guys, let's be honest, okay? Those things are way smaller than I thought piranhas would be. I don't think a bite would even hurt that much. What do you guys think?
It wouldn't, but you gotta remember, piranhas hunt in packs. So there could literally be hundreds, if not thousands of them. And I think it'd be way worse to, like, get attacked by die a million tiny bites than one giant bite. You know, a shark can end your life like, dink, overdone, cool. This way, that would just be endless pain and suffering until you die.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I don't want that. I want the one bite. Everybody knows the rules.
Scoop them out.
Okay, they definitely look more aggressive than the first time I did this, but I'm just gonna carry.
They're getting
What
hungry.
about them?
One guy
What
out
what
just
makes
like
them look
that.
aggressive? Am
Oh,
I
shoot,
missing
he's mad,
something?
He's mad, but I'm just gonna put him into the new tank, and there you go. Be free, my friend. New home.
He
So
looks
I did
so
that same
cute.
process with
He
the
does not
other
look
5,
aggressive.
and there we go. The piranhas
They
were
look
in
like
the
Dang,
new home.
the
They
boys
look
are
like
back.
goldfish.
Immediately they packed up like piranhas do.
They're like the
and looked
popular
as though they
kids
were
in high
already
school.
on the hunt for food once again.
Well, these piranhas look pretty hungry, I'm not gonna lie, or maybe piranhas are just always hungry. So now I'm gonna feed them the first of 5 different food sources.
What is he feeding them? It needs to blur that.
Worms?
Number
Oh,
5 is
Feeding
the
them
hand.
mealworms. If you remember, I had this pipe with the delicious juice inside,
Oh,
which
yeah, I
I went
remember.
and squirted inside.
How could I
to let
forget?
piranhas know it was feeding time. And as you could guess, they immediately started to go up and eat it, which kind of made a mess. But yeah, they were
That's
loving
like smoking
it.
a
Oh my
vape.
gosh, do you see that?
You, like,
They're all
threw it up.
gathering around the little area where I just put it in.
So now that they were ready, I dropped in the mealworms, and one started to sink down. 2
Uh-oh.
of the piranhas
Uh-oh.
noticed
Oh, you're
it
dead.
and kinda
You're
took
dead.
nibbles
You're
at
dead.
it.
Oh, they're
But
playing
they
a
were
game
kinda
with
just
them.
playing around with it more
They're
than
just
they were
tasting them.
actually eating it. And that same
Mwah.
thing kept happening to
Mwah.
most of the mealworms.
Who's a good
but that
little
was
worm?
until I saw
Mwah.
this, where 3 of them took turns devouring
Oh.
it up, and yeah, this one
Oh.
actually
Got
got eaten.
Okay, well,
He slurped that up
mealworms,
like
I'm gonna
spaghetti.
give about like a 2 out of 10 on how much the piranhas like them.
But as you can see, second on the list, we're gonna be feeding them crickets.
Now, if you remember at the start, the
Oh my God, they're
piranhas
still
wanted
alive.
nothing to do with the crickets. But let's see how they'll react now that they're in
Uh-oh.
this new tank.
So
They're
I
gonna
dropped
drown.
in just one, and because it was just floating there, I grabbed it with tweezers to show
Oh,
the
poor
piranhas.
guy.
So you can
Oh
see they
my
picked up the
God.
memo that this was alive, and
Yeah.
they sort of started to nibble
Eat
it like
it.
the mealworms. But not even a single
Nice.
piranha actually took a big enough bite to eat this cricket.
Okay, that was pretty bad. The crickets, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10 because the mealworms.
Zero!
at least did
0 out of
some
10.
them. I guess
I'm
these
like
piranhas
no
just don't
longer
really
scared
like
of piranhas.
I feel like piranhas, they're more friendly than anything else at this point. They get a bad rep.
It's because they're full right now. If they were hungry, they would get you. Which they might be hungry by the time they get to his hand.
They haven't eaten in like days.
I thought piranhas had like British teeth, you know, where it's like, oi, matey,
Like a horse, but sharp.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that piranhas are just cute little cuddly overgrown goldfish, and I think I might buy one. What do you guys think?
I think you definitely could use a friend. I think you should get one.
I know.
You should make one big exhibit with your bearded dragon. Have your bearded dragon on one side and then big water on the other side. Piranhas over there, bearded dragon over there.
And then my bearded dragon could be like the king of the piranhas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea, me. Thanks, me.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to Amazon.
That's why I'm gonna rapid fire the next 2 off. Here you can
Cheeseburger.
see I've got salmon and ground beef, which is a lot more smelly. They better like this.
I started by waving the salmon around in the water
Come
until
on.
the piranhas noticed it.
I
And
would
once
take a
few
bite.
started to come up and nibble it, I accidentally dropped it into the sand where
Oh my God.
He fumbled.
Up. They huddled around it like
Put the
a pack
fries
of
in the bag.
hyenas and started to actually take little chunks out of the
Yo.
piece for
Oh,
them to eat.
okay,
So
this
I
is
did
a little
the same thing with
terrifying.
the ground
Ooh.
beef and held it in the water. And this time the piranhas were even more interested, and instantly the entire pack huddled around it and took turns taking their bites.
That's pretty
out of it.
scary.
I even noticed that the scraps of it had fallen onto the floor and were getting surrounded by the piranhas too.
Well, dang, I'm gonna give the salmon an 8 out of 10 and the ground beef a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, they love it.
Oh my God, his
so
hand
much,
is next.
For this to actually work, I think you would need an open flesh wound.
What do you mean actually work?
Like for them to start nibbling on it.
That's a good point. Well, because, and also they need to smell the blood, you know? They need to know that until there's any blood, they'll probably just think that his hand is a threat. And I would imagine that they'll just leave him alone.
So what if he put his hand in, but inside of his hand, he had like a little meatball?
Yeah, it could work. Probably work.
You're making me hungry, Jack.
I'm getting pretty hungry. These piranhas are eating way better than I normally do.
My hand now. I said I would do it in the intro, so, you know, let's just do it. 3, 2,
I can tell by his
One.
hand he's 5'7".
go. Start the timer. Let's see how long I can keep it in here.
Right away, nothing really happened because none of the piranhas were near my hand.
He's
but I
a
knew this was
psycho.
kind of cheating, so I moved my hand.
Oh,
closer.
here one comes.
One
Oh my
sort of
God.
nudged me and
Oh,
actually
he's
started
getting
to
scared.
chase my
No, don't
hand
get
as I
scared.
moved it away to avoid
I would be
getting
scared.
bit. So of course, I moved my hand back over to the pack, where some of them definitely.
You should have
got
put his
sorta
mom's
close
hand
to
in there.
biting me,
Well,
but they
let
were
him
nowhere
bite you,
near as
dude. Come
aggressive as
on.
they bite a
Coyote
cow killer.
Peterson
Based off of
is
his
top
reaction,
G.
You can
He's
tell this
insane.
insect has one of the most painful stings in the entire world. Now, normally you would
It's
want to
That's true,
away
it
from
does.
these things, but I just found a website that will sell you one as
$50?
They say
That's it.
$50!
What in the wish.com? What in the Walmart is this man doing? Somebody should revoke his credit card access.
$50 for a bug.
Guys, we should not let anybody buy these ever.
Who would ever spend that much money to buy one singular insect?
Velvet ants are wingless insects that are found in tropical and subtropical regions around the world. They are also known as cow killers or piranha ants due to their painful sting. Velvet ants are not actually ants, but they are related to wasps. Be sure to read the care guide below to make your velvet ant happy.
They say that their sting is so potent that they can actually kill a cow with it, which is why they're called the cow killer.
called
I
a
forget.
cow killer because its sting is powerful enough to kill a literal cow. Huh, what could go wrong? So let's just buy
Adam's
this at the
mom.
cart.
So in this video, I'm gonna build a
The same
home,
mom.
show off everything about keeping a pet cow killer, which means yes, I am going to let it crawl on my arm.
What kind
And
of
it stings
meat are
me,
we looking
I'm going
at?
to be in so much pain. But until it got delivered to my
Why would
house,
he do
I
that?
got out the enclosure and a
Hey,
bunch of
pool
desert
party.
rocks to build its home. To start, I stacked each of the rocks in this pattern
so
that would
satisfying.
create a canyon look in here.
Now, the reason I bought these types of rocks is because they look like the rocks in real canyons. But yeah, because they look so
Checks out.
realistic, these rocks were very expensive.
Whoa.
That's
No.
actually how much.
You have to spend $130 for something you can literally just get outside.
What you're saying is he spent more on the rocks than the actual ant.
Who's saying that? He's saying
So
that.
I'm confused about this wasp ant thing. If it can kill a cow, what happens if it stings, say, a butterfly? Does the butterfly just instantly explode? Like, what the frick happens to it?
I'm kind of curious what happens if I were to get stung, because a cow is bigger than me.
I know, you would die. So, like, what if it stings anything else that's this big, it would just explode, I think. I don't know.
We don't talk about that.
You see, cow killers live in deserts in the wild, which sort of makes sense because all of the most deadly and painful animals
That's
live
true.
in the desert. Anyways, to finish the canyon look in this enclosure, I got some of this excavator sand
I thought that was
stuff.
Cheetos for a
If I
second.
add this bowl of water
Cheeto
to this cup
dust.
of the sand and pour it in there like that, then just go and mix it up with my
I could watch this all
hand.
day.
Whoa.
And
Is
after
that
a
gonna make,
minute,
like,
it turns
clay?
into this clay
Dude, I watch
substrate,
Dirt
which I can kinda
ASMR
make into a
every
nice
single
ball
day. It's
of,
insane. I love it.
Boop. Yes, it's kind of nasty. But basically, using this clay, I'm gonna go and stick it in between each of these rocks to kind of glue them together, and we're gonna have a nice completed canyon.
is
look.
awesome.
Smart.
Anyways, after putting
Natural
that all
cement.
over the rocks and letting it dry, it ended up looking pretty good. But the
I would
next
add a
step
little
to
bit of my
finishing
own
this
dirt
desert
there,
is,
too.
of course, to put some sand in here because deserts they have to have sand.
But before putting the sand in, first
And
I
cacti.
got these big bags of black rocks. And apparently if I scatter this around the floor before putting the sand in, it should help absorb any extra moisture, and that'll prevent any mold.
Is
from
this
growing
all
in
for
this
just one
desert.
little
Next
bee?
I think so, and it's an ant.
Oh, yeah.
A container and filled it with some sand and some of this soil to make the desert substrate.
Basically, the reason why I'm
Sandy
using
soil.
this as the substrate is because when I put the plants and cactuses inside, this soil is going to provide a lot of nutrients, so they're able to grow nice and tall, and we get a fully fledged desert in here.
I know that he's like making a YouTube video and that's the primary focus, but did anybody else get a little bit angry when he just poured the sand on the desk? Just me? Okay.
in here.
So I went and poured that on top of all of the carbon and pushed it up against the rocks to make the desert floor. But as you can see, this doesn't really look like a desert because of how much dirt I added to that substrate. So I quickly poured a thin layer of just normal sand on top so it would look like a desert once again.
I'm
Alright,
at
this is
the
already starting to
beach.
look like a good cow killer enclosure.
Jack, the
but to make
desert
it
is not
even
the beach.
better, it's time to add in some plants and decorations.
Add some ocean,
quite the
and it
First for the
is.
decorations, and that basically just means wood and rocks. Because that's pretty much all deserts have, to be honest. They're pretty boring. First of all,
If you could have an enclosure, what would you put in it? Wait, let me go first. Tissues. That's it. I think that's all you would
For
need.
you? You're a creeper.
No, for you, I'm saying. Like, if I were to build an enclosure and I knew Adam was going in there, I would just put a ridiculous amount of dirt and then tissues.
Yeah, well, tissues are multi-purpose. You could use them to blow your nose. You could use them to wash your face, clean yourself. You could use them to wipe your butt. Yeah, that's a good choice.
I would probably put pizza in Alex's enclosure.
I love that.
Well, I put some of this spider wood around the tank randomly and even used some of it to make little bridges across the canyons that the cow killer would be able to walk on. Then I got some of these longer sticks and put them on the side of the canyon to make it look like there were roots growing from it or something.
should
Yeah,
be in an
pretty
art
cool.
museum.
But I did end up getting two cool decorations.
Whoa,
which
whoa,
are right
whoa.
here. The
What are
first
we
of which
looking
is
at?
these
Hey,
little
yo.
logs, which are called choya wood. And the reason these
With
are
the
a cool
wood?
decoration is
That
because
is
the
cool.
wood?
man.
Some good looking
choya,
wood.
It's a cool word to say, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and also they're good. 'cause
Choya.
They have all these little holes so the cow killer can run inside and then just hide and make a home in there. So yeah, that's good. And for the second cool decoration, I
no.
I got a
Whoa.
live scorpion.
Oh
Just
my
kidding,
God,
it's actually
wait.
not a live scorpion.
Oh my gosh.
It's
I was gonna say, no
a
way that's
toy
real.
Scorpion, but you know, it's a desert,
looks
so I think it'll fit
realistic.
pretty well. I'm just gonna put
Do
it.
they
got
sell
me.
that in women's
Spot
size?
There. Take a look at that. Looks pretty deserty.
Now for the
does that
plants.
mean?
And as you know, not many things can live in the deserts since it's so dry. So our only options are succulents and cacti, which of course are able to absorb tons of water.
But I don't have any of those.
This
types of
guy's
plants,
freaky.
So I gotta go. To
I'm
the store.
learning
Let's
stuff.
go. Okay,
This is
so as you
awesome.
guys
For
can see,
once.
I'm at Home Depot, and the reason I'm here to get plants is because I saw a comment from one of you guys saying you got 820 plants for $30.
Okay,
Yeah, right.
Good deal. I mean, it's
I
probably
hope
a typo
so.
or something,
I can
but
get
let's just
1,000
go
plants
see
for
if Home
free.
Depot has any good deals on plants.
Just go to my
So
local
I made
Just
my
give
way
Adam
over
2
to the
hours.
garden section, expecting there to be a ton of plants. But when I got there was literally nothing.
Bro, there is not a single
Dang.
plant in
It's because the other dude bought them all out, you dummy. Why would you go the same week that he bought 820?
Everybody knows that plants hibernate during the winter.
Alec?
That's valid points out of both of you.
Alex never seen a plant a day in his life. Let's be real.
What is this?
But apparently, because it was winter, they just moved most of the plants inside because I ended up finding this little
See, they're
collection of
hibernating.
plants.
Dang, look at all these succulents. Wait, this is
Okay.
actually exactly
Okay,
what
he doesn't have to call them
Let me just pick
succulents,
out
though.
a
That's
few.
what they're
That's
called.
exactly what they are, Alec.
You gotta call them what they are, Alec.
Down here, or cacti.
What is that?
We call you
So I
Homo
picked out a
sapien,
nice
but Homo for
selection.
short.
While I didn't
He's
think
got a
it was
little
gonna be a
hairdo.
deal, as
That is a
comment
crazy
said, it
looking
still only
cactus.
costs like $20 for all these plants, which is pretty good.
Kinda looks like a
Anyways, to
Pokemon.
plant these desert plants, I shook off all the excess dirt and
Wait.
planted just the roots in the sand. And in no
Oh.
time, it was done. But the final step to finishing the cow killer's home is insects. And I've got 2 different species of insects I want to
Smash.
put in here. First of all, you already know I've got springtails, the extremely tiny
Oh
white
my
creepy
gosh,
bug
I hate
thing.
those
So
when I
those
find
are
them
the
in my bed.
bugs. They eat all of the algae and bacteria.
They're so annoying. They always
Yeah,
crawl
there's
me
just
when
like
I'm trying to
1,000
sleep in
of
my
them in
bed.
here. All these tiny little white things moving. Those
That's
are all
life.
springtails.
Oh.
But these are extra important in a desert enclosure like this because every now and then I'm gonna have to go and spray each of the plants down,
Oh.
water them, and the spring.
Did anybody else think that was a flamethrower? No.
No.
I thought it was gonna be like insect
If you
repellent.
have any extra mold that grows because of all the moisture. So yeah, they're pretty useful. Let's just dump these guys in here. Yeah, pretty good.
And second
That
of all,
scorpion
I've
scared
got
me.
these things, which are mealworms.
But the real reason why I'm gonna put these guys in the enclosure is because I'm kind of interested to see if the cow killer's gonna go and just sting them. To be
Whoa,
honest, I don't really
that
know
would
if
be
the cow
cool.
killer
Isn't that
eats insects
cannibalism?
Like this, but I guess I'm gonna figure
If
out.
an
which
insect eats
No.
an insect?
A cannibalism act of cannibalism is when one thing eats another thing that's the same thing.
And Adam, worms are different from ants.
Fish are friends, not food.
Good job, Bruce.
Put them in here.
Well, this desert enclosure is now complete. And that means
That looks
I gotta
really
get
cool.
the pet cow killer. Yeah, I don't even...
Dude, I don't understand why anybody complains about having a school bully. Like, you could get rid of them like that for 50 bucks. Like
Don't
that.
get any ideas. No, guys, no.
You should never have a school bully again. You serious?
Considered a felony by normal state laws.
Take your mother's credit card and buy that thing and put it in their lunchbox.
Do not do that.
Guys, what you're gonna want to do is grab the credit card and you're gonna want to send me the information, but I'm not gonna do anything with it.
Guys, what are you doing? Stop promoting that.
It's either the bully no longer shows up to school or they catch you and you go to a different school. It's a win-win-win-win.
Don't listen to anything that those 2 dummies say. Do not do that.
We could do a social security for social security in the comments, guys.
If this video gets 10,000 likes, I will do it to my school bully that lives in my house.
Do
in-
not
in
take
my
any of their
basement.
advice. This is
Shut
awful
up,
advice.
cow.
I will do it to Alec. I'm talking about Alec.
like this.
8 days
Well,
later.
guys, it took a long time for
Live
this to get
fish?
delivered, and I don't even
I did
know
not
why it's a
realize
live fish if there's a cow killer in
That
here.
this
But
insect was this big.
Wait, what a second. Wait, it's a fish?
This whole
This
time
whole
it's been a
video!
fish.
This whole time!
Fish, guys? Oh my god. It's alive.
This is proof that we're living in a simulation.
So maybe it is cannibalism now.
I know I keep bringing this up, but seriously, if I get stung by this thing, I'm going to be in this much pain. Like, just look at this guy's face.
I would pee my pants.
I just don't want to do that. But anyways, let's just go.
If that thing stung me, I might kill a cow.
Don't ever try this at home, by the way. I think when Coyote Peterson did that, he had like an entire medical staff team around him in case he died, because you can die from this. So if that, do not try that ever.
I watched that video, Alec, and in the video, they actually explained that Coyote Peterson is also part coyote, so that's probably why it didn't affect him like it would you and I.
I'm starting to not believe anything that you say.
I think that would be the only time, like, ever where you could kiss somebody on the mouth without permission and get away with it.
I'm playing the video and I'm not listening to Adam anymore.
So I cut the tape and got the container out that supposedly the bug was inside.
Okay,
so
what?
this is
That is clickbait.
What is that?
Why'd they send that huge box?
Did they send a used tissue? What is that?
They surrounded it in like alien-proof tinfoil or something.
Wait, what? Play the video. We haven't even seen it yet, guys.
They sent him a napkin. He got scammed off the black market.
We haven't even seen it
Alec,
yet.
are you selling used tissues?
Well, I might be, but it has nothing to do with this video.
Belle Delphine sells bathwater. Alex sells used tissues.
not so promising. It's
With
just
ants.
a clear plastic container with a paper towel. Well, I guess let me just carefully take the lid off and, okay, please, hopefully nothing
they
jumps
fly?
out at me.
I very carefully
That's
used some
termites.
tweezers to move the paper towel into another container. And then I carefully moved
Oh, in
around
there?
that paper towel to try and reveal the cow
That
killer.
is crazy.
I
He
think
spent
I see it
50
in
bucks
there.
on
Wait,
this
do you
thing.
see that? Hold on, look at this.
Is it dead?
That's the cow killer.
That's moving.
May
No,
not
it
look
is.
like
It's
It's moving.
This
Yeah.
thing-
I actually did notice that when you transport insects, you make them really cold so that they don't move as much, and it's kind of like you're putting them into a little hibernation. So that's probably what happened. It had to warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
Here is one of the most painful stinging insects. Or not
It's
even
kinda
insects,
cute.
Animals in the
Don't, Jack.
entire
Don't
It
do
has
it.
red
I
hair?
couldn't just move it straight inside of the new enclosure.
I'd
because
kiss it.
first I
It's
had
like
to
a
build the
glazed
rest of
donut.
it
It's
on
really
so it wouldn't
deadly.
be able to escape. Because if
But
it
it
did,
looks so
that would
good.
be really bad.
Okay, well, it's right here, so I'm just gonna risk it for the biscuit and pick it up super carefully.
That is danger.
I thought he was going to get multiple, like a whole colony's worth.
Soon enough, the
How much
bug
money do you think this guy
crawled out of
has?
his paper towel and
That would
started
be-
to
that would kill his
explore
entire
around
town if they
new
escaped.
home. But considering the cow killer spent the last week in that shipping box, it's probably pretty hungry. So I wanted to get it fed right away.
And when you search it on Google, it says the cow killers like to eat nectar, larvae, and adult insects.
It's
So
a
I think first
cannibal!
I'm gonna feed them some of this
Told you.
insect jelly food, which I usually
What?
keep to my crickets. And basically, it should
They get
replicate
Jell-O?
the nectar that they find in flowers in the wild.
Oh.
So I opened up the
This
pack
insect's
of jelly
living
and
my
put it
dream
right in
life,
front of the
man.
cow killer. Within about a minute, it must have.
Please just
That is
imagine.
so much food.
Imagine you're the size of that cow ant, and a Jello that big drops down.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
It would kind of be like going over to your friend's house and their entire pool is filled with Jello.
And Alex's mom would be there.
Okay, what is happening today,
We're
guys?
building out our dream world.
Because it crawled right up to it and just stayed there looking like it was eating it.
Yo, look at the cow killer. Just put
Yummy.
its face straight up to the jelly, and it's
Yummy.
just devouring it, I'm pretty sure.
And yeah, he really just sat there for 20 whole minutes eating it, and I eventually just took the jelly away
What?
from him because I
Oh.
didn't want him to eat.
He's
You
gonna go in a
bully.
food
Anyways, I
coma.
want to see if this
Look,
cow
he can't
killer's
move
gonna eat
anymore.
The other stuff that Google said it would
He's
eat.
in a
He's
One of the
drunk
things that
on
it would eat
nectar.
is adult insects, and if you remember, I did put mealworms in here. Let me see if I
They
can
might be
find
too
one.
big.
Here we go. There's just a mealworm
Ew.
in the sand right
Yeah,
there.
those are
I'm
very
gonna bring
big.
this right over to the cow
This might be
killer
bigger
and
than the
see if
cow
he
Dude.
reacts if I
He's
just
passed
That's
out.
what my
next to it.
bearded dragon
Yeah.
eats.
Now, right away, the cow killer noticed the mealworm
He's like, hush, hush, little guy. I'm gonna sting you.
up to it.
all you
But
can
while
eat
it
buffet
even
right
started
there.
to crawl on top of the mealworm, it didn't really seem to care at all that it was there. In fact, it kind of just put its mouth on the sand where the insect jelly was just sitting to try and suck up any of the last sugar that was there. So yeah, I guess they don't really eat insects.
Not when they're
Alright,
twice the
it's
size of
nighttime,
them.
I got my mom in here. Say hi.
Now, the reason I got my mom in here is because I was gonna need her to film the cow killer
Hi,
when
Mom.
it walked on my arm. But first, I
Yeah!
have to show her the bug.
Can you just guess what's inside real quick, based off the desert?
Some sort of bug.
Yeah, it is a bug. Actually, you can probably see it. It's in this little container right here. Basically, if I take this off, it's this little red creature bug thing, and it's called a cow.
You should have pranked
killer,
her.
because they say its sting is painful enough to be able to kill a literal cow.
What?
Yeah, so
Are you
basically,
serious?
the reason I brought you in today is because I just want you to film me, basically letting it crawl on me, because I was just thinking, you know, like,
So,
I
like,
just want to bond with
where's
it.
the
That sounds
dad?
like a really bad idea.
So first, I'm gonna start by
No,
picking up its
no,
abdomen
no,
with
no,
these
no.
tweezers. Don't worry, this doesn't actually hurt the bug because it has a super strong abdomen. It's just basically like a skeleton. Oops, I dropped
He
it.
just
But
squished
eventually,
it like a
I picked
bug.
it up again and
I
put
feel
it
like that
inside.
hurt it.
This actually doesn't hurt. It just he
Just
kills it.
squishes it.
It doesn't hurt the bug at all.
Nah, he good. Get up, get up.
Side of the container.
Okay, you got a good shot. So basically, I'm just gonna start.
No way he's actually
like
gonna do
this.
it.
I don't want to get
He's-
it mad when
I
it
think
falls
he's
out.
doing
I didn't
it.
think he was
Let
actually
fall
gonna do
out,
it.
so.
And this
You don't
will kill
clickbait,
a cow.
Alec.
Well, yeah, that's what they say, but I don't think it actually can. All I know is it's super painful.
It didn't take long until the cow killer got to the edge
I
of
don't
the
think he's
container
going to get
and then
stung.
stepped onto my arm.
Now we just hope and pray this doesn't sting me. Right
I would
now.
be
So I don't wanna make
sweating
any sudden movement, 'cause then it's gonna
so
know I'm
much if I
bad
were
and
him.
It's gonna try to sting me.
It
Now,
would
I
send That's
to
your
let
fear,
it stay
Alec.
on me for at least a minute. So in the meantime, I just tried to talk with my mom to distract me.
What is the purpose of this? You want to bond with your pet?
Yeah, because everyone bonds with their dog and stuff. I just want to bond with
Oh,
my
he's a
cow
puppy.
killer. See how its sting is just like crawling along me? It could accidentally sting me at any moment.
At this point, it started to look more aggravated, and as soon as the timer hit 60 seconds, I put the container in front of it, hoping it would crawl in. But it ended up crawling around it onto the side of my arm, where it eventually fell off onto the table.
Oh, thank
so
God.
I quickly scooped it up back into its container. Weird, but I am known for keeping the weirdest pets, so of course I found this website that will
Shout
sell me
out.
a
What is this website?
Dang, $20 for a pet leech. That's a bargain.
Why does it have 4 stars?
Get this checked out.
What are
So
people
in this
doing
video, I'm
with
gonna build
leeches?
a
26
website that
reviews.
shows
Wanna
everything
know?
about keeping a pet leech.
That
and
just
literally
looks so
let them
sus.
suck on my
No!
arm. Yes,
No,
I am
no,
not
no,
kidding.
what?
I'm gonna let them do that, and I might get
That
some
feels
unknown
dangerous.
deadly virus. This is easily gonna be my weirdest pet. Anyways, until the
Whoa.
leeches
It's like
got
a
delivered,
seawater
I got
mosquito.
out a 20-gallon aquarium and a ton of rocks to get its enclosure built. Step 1 to make its home is to make a rock arch. To do that, I got out some water-safe spray foam and sprayed the entire left side of the enclosure, and then I covered it with some lava rocks. You see, leeches spend most of their time in the water, but they actually have the ability to crawl on land.
I hate this. It's skeeving me out.
I've heard of leeches, but I never knew what they looked like. I didn't know that they kind of look like a giant worm.
How did you not know what a leech looks
I've
like,
never
Adam?
seen one. I don't know.
I've actually had a few leeches on me before, and it's really weird.
Oh my god. Ew.
I'm a survivor.
Basically, by connecting all these rocks with foam, I was able to build an arch here that I could cover with dirt to make the land portion of this enclosure. On the land, I put some very simple decorations like a piece of wood, some carpet moss, and a small plant to complete it.
All
So
right,
beautiful.
The land area is looking pretty nice and small and cozy, and it's gonna be so cool to see the leeches swim onto the land so they can eat food and stuff. Oh, and
So
also, if you're wondering where I
cool.
got this beautiful
Yeah.
plants, of course, from Walmart. Gotta keep the channel's tradition going, you know.
Anyway, step 2 of this enclosure is to create the water portion. Now, I started by getting out some of this black aqua soil stuff and putting a layer of it down because it'll allow us to grow some beautiful, luscious plants in here. But first, I covered the soil with a layer of sand and started to scatter giant river rocks along the bottom.
Do any of you guys know what leeches eat?
They suck blood, Adam. That is all that they do.
I get it, but like off other fish or off
So
each other?
yeah, think of any animal or fish or anything that has blood flowing through its body. It just attaches itself to it, and then it just sucks out the nutrients.
Is it a parasite?
I feel
It's kind of like a parasite.
Kind of a parasite, yeah. I feel like parasite, leech, same sort of thing. They're just feeding off of their host.
But imagine being a fish and not having any arms to like defend yourself. Like once a leech is on you, you can't like do anything. You're just.
Aren't they like super dangerous? Don't they have like diseases that he could get?
I mean, I would imagine so. If you're sucking blood and then sucking more blood and then sucking and sucking and sucking, eventually you're gonna get diseases and then
Exactly,
spread it.
yeah.
Right, Adam?
Is that where Lyme disease comes from?
Yeah, that's from ticks. Yo, yeah, it's pretty much a tick. It's a water tick.
Yeah, talk about a clingy pet, am I right?
Cool to make this place look like the bottom of a river, since that's where leeches live in the wild. To finish the river look in here, I put some smaller river rocks around, and then I put some extra small tiny river rocks around, and then I
Nice.
put some extra tiny small river rocks around.
That's just sand.
Which aren't really rocks anymore, they're just kind of like gravel,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyways, now it's time for the aquatic plants. So I drove over to the local pet store to buy some.
Okay, here's the aquatic plants, and I always hate buying
11
these because I
bucks?
look at this. They're
For
so
a
expensive.
plant?
Anyways, let me just pick out a few that look cool. And yeah, this cart right
There
here
is
costs
no
like
way he just-
$70 for buying
No.
Anyways, when I got home, I used
Inflation
my
I
could
best
find that for
skills
free.
to find the most
Money
optimal
does grow on
location to
trees.
Plant each plant, and by that I mean
Yeah.
I just put them around
No.
randomly. But after putting them all in, it actually looked pretty cool.
All right, dang, this is actually gonna look pretty
That's so
good
worth
once I
70
add
bucks.
water in here.
I
Also,
like
it
it.
turned out really good how that rock arch makes like a little cave there. That's gonna be really cool. I guess the leech are gonna be able to swim there or something.
Guys, I know that we're watching a video about leeches, but how cool would it be if he got like a piranha next? I want to see that.
Ooh, yeah. Wait, that could be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Freshwater creatures, so I just filled the enclosure up with some normal water, you know, pretty simple stuff, and in no time it was done.
All right, I'm liking the look of this a lot, but if you look at the dirt, it's absorbed the water and it's
Oh.
super moist and it kind of looks like mud right now. Now, because the humidity's so high right here, mold can actually grow, which
Ooh,
is
that's
of
no
course
good.
not good for the leeches. But don't worry, because I have the perfect solution right
Salt.
here.
Inside of this container, I had some little insect creatures delivered to me for step number 3, the mold cleanup crew. These are
Oh.
springtails, which you may have seen before, but I have a cool idea for them.
Ah!
They're basically just super tiny white insects that I guess eat mold when
Oh
it grows
my
in here.
God.
And yeah,
Pretty
this
cool.
tons
cool.
of these things in here,
That
so
is
I just
nasty.
dumped the whole container on the land.
All right,
Isn't that so cool? How even the minute, minuscule insects play such a big part in the ecology of the world? Like, without those little minuscule rats, the leeches would die because the mold.
Exactly. It kind of reminds me how in our stomach we have trillions of tiny microorganisms. It's pretty crazy to think that there's little things living inside me.
Yeah,
I think
and
I might
without
be
them,
pregnant.
we would die. We would die without them. It's crazy. Like, I hate insects, but I gotta love them and respect them, because without them, I would be dead.
It's the circle of life, except for mosquitoes. We should get rid of them.
It'd be really cool to get a time lapse of these little guys eating. And since there's no mold in here right now, apparently their second favorite food is yeast, which is like a fungus or something. I don't really know. Bread. But basically, I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit right here, and we'll see what they do.
That is like a full buffet.
So I waited for the
Yeah, look
spring
at- oh my gosh.
So
the
much.
yeast
Oh
up,
my
and they were
gosh.
Just imagine if like someone outside your house just dropped just a pound and 100 pounds of Skittles. That's what just happened.
But the Skittles are like the same size as your body.
Yeah.
I would eat it.
Can we turn the Skittles into Big Macs?
Did you know Skittles are like the most dangerous food in the world?
Oh, you saw
I
that?
thought-
You saw that on
The most-
Twitter?
yeah.
Why? They seem pretty natural to me. They're different colors.
Yeah, they're rainbow-fied.
Yeah, you taste the rainbow.
But if you eat the green ones, you're good.
Yeah, just I only eat the green ones to stay healthy.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart.
Balanced diet, Skittles.
around it, looking like they were probably eating it. And as you can see, this part of the yeast kinda changed. I don't know if that's just because it soaked up the water from the dirt.
So
or
these
what,
things are
because I
gonna
only
grow into
recorded
leeches.
Springtails for like 30 minutes, so it's not a very
No.
eventful time lapse. But this is what it looked like.
These are
at
just
the
in there to
end.
eat the
Now for
mold.
step number 4 of completing this enclosure, we
Add
gotta put
the
some
thing.
technology in here,
No!
like always, to make it super
Oh.
good. Now, first of all,
So they
I
can
got
play
out this
Fortnite.
machine, which you may have
No.
seen in some
What
of
is
my
that
previous
thing?
videos.
It's a blender.
Basically, when I turn this little dial, out of the end of the tube, a bunch of fog comes out.
Whoa.
So I set that up on the side of the
That is
glass.
pretty
and let it
legit.
run
A
for minute.
fogifier.
Check
It just
this
makes it
out.
look
completely
cool.
transformed
Now it's like a
kind of boring
rave.
to, like, super
Now it's a
spooky.
rainforest.
Honestly, it's a little bit too much fog. Let me
Looks
get
good to
some of
me.
this Out of here. Okay, that's better. But you know, it's cool. Adds to the atmosphere.
Is that it? It's just
They're
cool?
pretty
That's why?
Alec, you should do that to your room next time like a girl comes over.
Yeah, I should do that to my room next time they go.
Adam, don't even lie. A girl's not coming over there.
I know. I try to be
I
nice.
don't talk to them.
It's not gonna be fun.
It
Anyways,
scared
for
me.
the second technology,
But you could get a leech.
This one's a little useless, but it's cool.
Okay, so I was walking around Target earlier and saw these little robot turtle toys on sale for about like $8. And I think it'll just be funny to put these in the water with the leech.
The leech is gonna
if you
try to
got
eat
in,
them.
but-
I know, the leech is going to be so depressed when it's like... And then it gets microplastics in its system.
Oh, I hate microplastics.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They're the worst.
Them out real quick to see what they look like. Okay, I got it, and I think you just like press these buttons, and oh, okay, its arms are moving. I guess let me just put it in the water. Let's see what this thing can do. And
It's-
it's moving.
Oh, it's
It works.
moving.
It's just
Swims
swimming into the
about as good as I do.
Okay, I guess it's kind of cool. Okay, it's not that cool to be honest. Well, let me put it on land. Let's see if it can walk on land.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it can't walk on land.
Oh,
This
that's
enclosure
sick,
is
dude.
now 100% complete and ready for probably
just took 'em
the
out.
weirdest pet I
He
have
didn't
ever
even use
got to be put inside, the leeches. So I guess just cut to when I get that package.
In this box are the leeches.
It's
I
here.
got them Shipped. I still can't believe we're gonna be keeping.
Is that
these
a
as
urine on
pets.
there?
I'm literally
Ew.
gonna be letting it
Yeah,
suck
no,
on
that's
my
you
arm.
lying.
This is not gonna be fun
Oh.
at all, but it's gonna be pretty entertaining. But hey, let's
I'm
just
so
go get these guys
excited.
in their enclosure. We don't want them in their shipping box anymore.
I didn't even know you could have
So
these
I
as
brought the box
pets.
inside and opened it up.
Oh no!
I gotta
bro,
find
the
that
leeches are
website.
inside
I wanna
this
see what
little
else you can order.
box. I do not even want to open this up.
I think I don't like leeches, guys.
Inside
The more
the
I watch
box
this
was a
video.
little plastic container
Alec,
with
nobody
water
likes
and the
leeches.
which I moved into
but-
this.
Ah! Oh my god, I thought it was on the outside for a second.
Ah!
Nobody likes leeches. Who likes leeches?
Yeah, but like it makes me want to vomit. Like
Yeah,
I think I'm
who is
leechophobic.
looking at a leech and they're like, oh, look at that cute little leech. I want to give it a good
Dude,
little
the
pet.
guy that's making
no.
this video.
Ugh, it looks like a piece of string cheese that you'd pull out of your butt.
Terragreen likes leeches. I don't like leeches. That's whew, gross.
I would let him suck my arm though.
But guys, comment down below some names of what we should call these leeches.
It's
I'm
leech.
gonna name him Sleek.
Well, here they are, my new pet. Aren't they so
Oh,
cute?
it kind of
Oh,
reminds
there
me
is
of like a
too.
snail and a snake.
This is so disgusting. This guy's just climbing up the side of
Oh my God, it's like an alien.
Already trying to
Despite how nasty they were, I had to transport them to their new home, so I tried to scoop them out.
Okay, I got one of them up against the wall in this
that's
little
dangerous.
container, and I'm just gonna try and scoop it
my
up.
gosh.
Oh, there we
don't
go.
hurt him.
Whoa, look at how small it got.
Oh no, is this thing trying to escape right now? No.
Oh my
this is
gosh,
not the
can
time.
they
Can you
jump?
Please
Can-
go back in the container.
Oh, he's gonna use his hands.
But eventually I
loose.
got it back in, and I was able to put both the leeches
Okay,
into
good
their
job,
new
good
home.
job. It
And
does
right
kinda
after
look
dropping
cool when
them
it's in there.
It didn't take long
They're
for
good
the
as
leeches to
swimming?
start swimming around.
Can they
and
suck
be
each
super
other?
Active. Basically, how leeches
They might
work
have
is
to.
they
I don't
mostly get
know.
around by swimming around just like this,
Whoa.
like how a sea snake would.
That is
But
kinda
on one end
cool.
of their body,
Yeah.
they actually have a little suction
Whoa.
cup so that they can grab onto walls and rocks so they
Whoa.
can stay
Where are the
still. And of
teeth?
course, on the other end of their
On
body
the other
is the
side.
mouth that they use
Oh,
to, of
there
course,
it is.
grab onto animals with.
Okay, as you guys know,
Wow.
these leeches.
What? I wonder what it would feel like to be a leech. Like this is your whole life. Is doing this.
That's pretty much every fish, Alec.
You're
All
just
you
dancing
do.
your way through every single day.
They probably look at you and they're like, look at this kid all day. Look at what he does all day. Oh. So they probably think the same thing about you, Alec.
Come on.
Yeah.
They don't have eyeballs. all they do is feel. They just feel this and suck.
The more you talk about it, the more I want to be a leech.
I don't.
This is awful.
Dude,
What a
leeches
terrible
suck.
life.
Leeches literally suck.
Most of their food by sucking the blood out of other animals. Before I feed
Oh, now
them
he's just
my
hanging
own
there.
blood, I kind of want to fill them up just at least a little bit by feeding them.
He should prank
some
his
other
mom.
Type of food. And apparently, Google says one of the best things to feed them is raw liver from the grocery
Oh,
store.
yeah,
And
they
I
do
don't
have a lot
really
of blood
any
in
that,
them.
So I guess let me just go get it.
So
Adam
I
has
drove
like
over to
7
Walmart
pounds.
and found some of that raw beef liver that supposedly the leeches will eat.
Dang, check this
$2,
stuff out. It's
that's
only
not
I used to, I threw it out.
$44 for a packet of it. That is why we shop at Walmart, everybody. And it
That
does
is not
look
bad at all.
nasty, but I'm pretty
Walmart.
sure the leeches are gonna eat this. I don't know. Let's just go home and figure out.
So when I got
Yeah,
home,
they're
I
eating
opened
better
the
than
packet
most
up
leeches.
and got a little raw piece of
looks
liver out.
gross.
Ugh.
Beef liver right here.
I remember
This
eating that.
video, I thought it couldn't get any worse,
Hey, the
and it
leeches
is.
are out and about right now, so I think I'm just gonna drop it in right there.
That is so much
Look at how quick. Look at how
they
quick
I
they
let
get
the
to
meat sit there for about 15
Oh.
minutes, but the leeches didn't end up finding it.
I
So
thought that they
instead,
would
I
jump
just
on that
picked it
thing.
up and brought it right over to one of them. Immediately, that
gonna-
first one picked
Oh,
up a
wow.
scent or something and latched onto it. So while that leech
That
rode
meat
the piece
looks
of meat, I brought
gross.
it over to the second one, and that guy immediately latched onto
There
it.
we
Oh my
go.
gosh,
Let
dude,
them
they
go
are having a
crazy on
full-on
it
Digging in.
buffet.
for a little bit.
Look
Oh
at
my god.
look at how big they're getting. Oh my
Yeah, I guess
gosh.
you are right, Adam. As soon as they start eating, like it has nowhere to go. It just starts filling them up, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. Their entire body is basically like a stomach.
Ugh.
Leeches are absolutely devouring this piece of meat. I gotta make sure they don't get filled up on
pause.
this meat because I still gotta eat meat. Can you guys come off, please? Oh my
They are
gosh.
sucking that
This
meat.
They are
part
not
stuck
coming
on
off,
the
bro.
meat.
How are they gonna get off his
They're
arm?
on my arm.
That is crazy.
I don't know, bro. This is not gonna be fun though.
He should definitely prank his mom. Like, imagine she's sleeping and he puts a leech on her arm.
That would be horrible. I think I would kick my son out of the house if I woke up to a leech on my arm that was just suckling me. I don't.
Prank Jack.
I literally, I don't think I'll ever come back. I think I will be traumatized for life.
Yeah, but what if we put it on your nipple, Jack? Come on.
Are you trying to milk me? What are you trying to do?
No.
That would be funny if a leech sucked a nipple thinking he was gonna get blood, and then it got milk, and it was like, ah!
What do you think comes out of Jack's nipple?
Ah!
Guys, I don't know if you knew this, but I am not a woman.
Or pregnant.
It's the next day and the
That'd be
leeches
like
are
me
still doing
getting
good. And anyways, this is the
2,000
moment we've all
pounds
been waiting
from
for.
eating.
Did the
Well,
meat
I haven't been
disappear?
waiting for it, but I'm gonna
took
let
it
the
out.
leeches go
Oh.
on my arm now. So
Don't
let
do
me
it.
wait
Don't
for
do
my
it.
mom to get home so she can record that, and also I want to see how she reacts to this new.
I wonder if
His
it's gonna
mom is
hurt.
brave.
He's about to
Okay,
stick it on her
Have we
mom.
seen a face
All right,
reveal yet?
hi. I'm just bringing you in here 'cause
Of
I
the
wanna
mom,
show you
yeah.
My new pet. All right, so basically, just look at its cage, and I want you to guess what's in there.
Oh my god. Dude.
Do you see
No.
anything in there?
Yeah, it's in the jar.
Yeah, right
It's
there.
disgusting,
In the
dude.
jar. I had to put it in a jar.
Oh,
just
no.
'cause
Is it a centipede?
a centipede is
I
underwater.
don't know.
That's a
No,
leech.
it's not a
No,
centipede.
dude.
It was a good guess, guys. Don't yell at her.
No,
Isn't a pet leech cool?
no. Is it the sucking of the blood leech?
Basic, yeah, sucks your blood. But you know, we gotta feed it.
This is
I see
crazy.
where you're gonna go with this not happening.
Yeah, don't worry, we're definitely not gonna be feeding it anyone's blood. But I want to show you this.
Do you guys know that like back in ancient times, they actually used to use leeches to like cure you? They would like do it so that it would suck out any toxins in your blood, and they thought that it would help.
Oh.
Yeah, there was like a lot of weird ideas that they had, like just bloodletting in general. Like they would cut themselves and just bleed things out. They would also do trepidation, where they would cut holes in your skull and take out pieces of your brain.
It's pretty much like today's derma stamp.
thing you see on top, you can put fog
Probably a little
inside.
That's
sting.
neat.
But I don't only have fog. We also got some turtles.
Dang, bro, that leech is vaping.
He's
Why is
so.
it showing the turtles?
The mom is so proud of the
Why
turtles.
is it in a jar like that though?
Oh, you're wondering why it's in a jar? So
Oh, well, it's ready.
Basically, it's in a jar because I need to do something with it.
Ah,
You want to know why it's in a jar, Mom?
So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick the leech up and I'm just gonna take all the water out and then I'm just gonna put this upside down right here. And basically I need you to take my phone and record me sucking the blood out of my arm.
No, you I'm not gonna do that.
Yes, I have
no,
to
we're
do it.
not, dude. Why do you have to do that?
Because I said I would do it at the start of the video.
Oh, right.
I'm just gonna take.
Stop playing with her.
Oh my gosh,
no.
dude.
Why are we
This is kind of scary.
No.
What if it like bites a nerve or something?
For it to even get out of there?
Yeah, you see how its suction cup is on
Once
the
it gets
top?
on, ow!
Okay, it could happen right now. It could happen right now.
I'm so scared right now.
No, 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 no. No!
Take the jar off. Take the jar off.
Why are we doing this?
Take the jar off.
Back a little bit.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Okay, it's biting me right now.
He's
It's
giving
biting my
directions
butt.
of the camera.
Coming out of my-
Bro literally is just like, it's biting me right now, guys. I'm getting bit. It's biting me.
Oh, maybe he doesn't hurt that bad.
I'm
Yeah.
getting bit. He's getting leeched. My guy is getting sucked by a leech and he's calm.
Coming out of my arm.
Oh my god, no. Ew.
Ah!
It feels so weird.
Look at how big it's getting.
Basically, it's injecting like a chemical in my blood right now to make it run faster so it can suck more blood out. Oh,
Oh
Whoa.
my god.
Why is he so excited about this?
Can it really harm you?
It's like
No,
natural
not.
blood
Oh,
thinners.
it's getting big.
it's off actually.
No, I'm flicking it off.
No, so you can't flick it off.
So it does
the
have natural
teeth are, like,
properties.
Going harder into my body. Some people feed these for like 3 hours at a time, but yeah, I'm not doing
Who
that.
does
Oh
this?
my gosh. They
Who
actually them
does
for
this?
3 hours.
Yeah, you just kind of want to like trick its teeth into like scaring it, you know, so it will unbite
my
it.
God, it's really
Alright,
on there.
and Just like that. Get off! Get off! Get off! Get off!
Oh
Get
my
off!
god, get up.
Oh, we got him
Oh,
again.
we got him again.
So that's my new pet.
What? No, dude, let's just throw it in the toilet.
Okay, we're not gonna do that. Don't worry because we got princess band-aids
Oh,
right
thank
here.
Oh.
Lord.
Heal the wound.
Stole that from my room.
Got some cream or something I can put on it.
Neosporin, yeah.
Okay, so first we just gotta get the cream, put some on there. Maybe that's a little too much.
That's a lot of cream, man.
Princess Band-Aid, so we just take that out. Oh,
Wow.
I don't know who that
There we
is,
go.
but
It's good to go.
very pretty
See, they did
princess.
not have this in
Just
old
like
times,
that.
in old days.
Set our
That's
The old
true.
princess band-aid.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they
You wanna
needed
try?
princess band-aids back then.
Thing of a pet snake's home. When I clicked on it, I saw a pretty trashy
Oh, wow.
enclosure with paper
What
towels,
the-
towels, bro.
dirt all
What?
over the glass, and none
No.
of the stuff a snake
I don't
would
even see the
actually
snake.
need.
Hey, 50
I mean, that's basically the equivalent of what Alex's room looks like right now.
No, but we don't gotta mention that though.
But you have paper towels in there.
No, we don't have to talk about that at all.
It is
Alec.
a room-sized garbage can, Alex.
Basically the same thing.
It's disgusting, Alex.
Hey, $55. It's honestly not that bad of a deal. Let's go save this snake.
So I drove out to the cellar and bought the tank for $55.
That's
Okay,
a
I just got this
deal.
in my car, and I've got
Ew,
you
what's
flip
on the
it.
Make
side?
sure the snake inside is healthy.
What kind of
And if
snake is
I'm
it,
going
though?
to revamp this
Python?
trash
I don't
to a
even see
dream
it.
home to give the
Anaconda.
I think it's a cobra.
best life. I've got no time to waste. Let's go.
What if
After
it's like a
getting it home,
poisonous
the first
snake?
step was to, of course,
You'll
remove
find
the
out one
snake
way or the
from
other.
the enclosure.
So I have this tool to grab it. I really hope the snake in there isn't venomous. I have to be super careful.
I haven't
I
even seen
obviously
it
didn't
yet.
want to get my hands anywhere
He doesn't
near
even
this
know what snake it is
enclosure
yet.
Since the snake could be anywhere, so I used the tool.
So this is basically like, do you guys know the show Storage Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You're just getting like a mystery thing and you don't know what's going to be inside.
Well, he knows it's a snake. It could be, dude, imagine it's like a water moccasin, one of the most venomous snakes of all time.
Ooh.
Could literally die.
What if it's not even a snake at all? What if there's just like a rabbit in there?
I was going to say, what if it's just like an earthworm?
Oh, yeah, there's a really big
And
earthworm.
he just got trolled.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be mad.
Take out as many of the objects as I could. And it didn't take long until when I moved this piece of paper towel,
There he is, come on.
I saw a glimpse
Ooh,
of the snake
maybe
under it.
a
Thankfully,
corn
after
snake?
seeing it move, it looked
Oh,
like
it's
it
tiny.
was still in good health.
Little guy.
Python?
I picked it up to take a closer inspection.
What kind of snake is that?
Oh, that looks venomous though. It's orange.
Is it a boa python?
And after comparing the colors and pattern of the snake
ball
to
python?
a bunch of different species,
That's gotta
I think
be
I found
poisonous.
out exactly what species it was.
What is it?
Okay, check this out.
Gonga
This is called a
Laufus.
Kenyan sandboa, and this
Whoa!
looks exactly like the one I got. Okay, if this is actually a Kenyan sandboa, that means it's not venomous.
Oh,
and
okay.
I should actually be able to just go and pick it
Wow,
up.
it seems pretty
like,
docile.
First, I was pretty scared to pick it up, but
I'd
then
be
I realized it was
terrified.
actually super chill and friendly and wouldn't bite me at all.
Oh, look at
That's
this. Okay,
awesome.
from what I know, this species is actually a super, super good pet. So this is
Cursed
gonna be
or
awesome.
But the main
earthworm.
reason I was so excited about this species is because they have this special ability to burrow themselves in the floor and pop out to strike prey when it
Yo!
walks by. And
I wanna
I'm
see
gonna get
that.
to watch that happen.
They're
It's
kinda
so cool.
cute.
Anyways, first,
That's
the
what
start
Adam
is
does in the
enclosure
refrigerator.
Transformation process. Step number 1 is to take out the ugly remaining decorations.
Okay, I have no idea why there's all this random stuff in here, like a giant fake plant. This is not at all.
That looks like it's from
So of
IKEA.
course, I gathered all of that up.
It
and
really
threw
was
straight
someone's
into
garbage
the
can for a little
bin
bit.
where it belongs.
Then that leaves us with this.
Yeah.
This is so bad. There's just paper
That's trash.
towels,
Ew,
the
is it
floor, and
What is
just
that
a
red?
Pile of dirt.
Yeah, what-
Yeah, sand boas need at least a couple
Ew.
of
I
think-
substrates
let's just assume it's
in the
fruit
floor
punch.
So they can go in it and burrow. So this is definitely not good enough. Yeah, let's get this out of here. And
Gross.
Why is there just random like red stains on this? Yeah, let's get...
After taking the remaining dirt out,
I would
had to
DNA test
finally
that.
Get out a little razor and scrape off all these little piles of glue and dirt
Okay.
off the wall. I have no idea why they were there. But
It already
luckily,
looks
so
10
they
times
gotta
better
go.
with
Oh,
nothing
we're
in
gonna
it.
Yeah.
adjust the tank now, and this is where things get fun.
You see, the first step to build the snake's dream home is to create the background. And to do that, I used some animal-safe spray foam to cover the entire back of the glass so I could attach.
I'll be honest, I think he got a pretty good deal. I mean, the snake alone could cost anywhere from like 50 to 100 bucks, and the enclosure is probably another at least 50 to 100 bucks. Plus the IKEA plant is like at least $12. So if anything, he's making money.
We don't know yet how much he's gonna spend on these plants. Remember, in some videos, he can spend like 150 bucks on a little plant that's this big.
Yeah, what now, Jack?
Well, this video has 1.3 million views in 2 days, so he probably made at least $5,000 off of this video so far.
You know,
so
and-
he's in the positive.
In Pawn Stars, they don't count that.
Oh.
Gotcha.
and sticks. You see, I want to create a mix of a desert and forest in this enclosure to sort of mimic the snake's natural habitat. And to complete that look, I covered the remaining foam in some sand and other foresty decorations like dirt.
It is already 10 times
Whoa.
better.
Pretty nice and
It's an optical
foresty.
illusion.
Step 2 of making this a dream home is to put the floor and decorate.
All right, so for the floor, obviously he should put something like super soft because a snake, I don't know if you guys know, they don't have legs, so they move fully on their stomach. So if there's something rough there, it's not going to be pleasant.
Well, he was also saying earlier too that the sand boa is known for digging. So if he puts a bunch of like dirt and sand,
He already said he's gonna put dirt there, Adam. He said it needs 3 inches of dirt so that it can burrow.
Adam, you of all people should have picked up on that.
Me personally, I was thinking about like doing Jello, like something squishy where he could bounce. He could bounce when he's going, like something. It wouldn't hurt at all. Imagine the entire floor was Jello and you could just belly bop.
Imagine if you were made of Jello and we could just like throw you out a window.
But before I can put any dirt in here, I first have to fill it with a bunch of
Dirt.
these clay balls, and then cover those with some windows.
That is Cocoa
You're
Pebbles.
a
Come on.
terrarium expert. You already know what I'm doing. Basically, what I've built here will allow water to pass through just like that, but not dirt. Essentially, creating a drainage layer in here, which will stop mold.
Thank you
from
for the
growing.
visual aid. I would not have gotten
Now,
that.
for the substrate mix that goes on top, we're only going to use a little bit of sand. You see, despite being called a sand boa, it's actually better for the species to have this wood chip stuff.
No,
and cypress
disagree.
bedding make up most of the floor. But I also mixed in some other brown foresty stuff to make it a little bit softer. Finally, I poured a few inches of that inside and covered it in a
That boa's gonna hate that. It's gonna get so many scratches on the pieces of wood. Are you serious? No. If I was a snake, I would give it 4 stars out of 10.
dirt to make it less ugly.
Now for the decorations, and as you can see, I got a ton of stuff. But I want to make this interesting to
Jack's
watch,
back.
so start the super cool, epic
Hello.
building decorations montage. Let's go.
Hit us with the montage. Come on.
Heck yeah!
Epic! Put that freaking stick in there, boy!
That
Go!
is awesome.
But now you're probably noticing that the left and right sides of the enclosure
guy is
are
a
looking
pro.
pretty barren and empty. Well, that's because step number 3 is to put
Plants.
DIY decorations there.
I know
First up, the left side. Here, I want to build a giant, massive tree trunk that looks like it has leaves and stuff coming off of it. And
Where's
to
my
do
boy-
that, I
where's
went and
gonna-
gathered all the wood I had in my house into a big container.
He's
I
gotta
could
build a
easily
mansion or
access
something.
it.
Fair
This
enough.
is all just leftover wood from previous videos. Yeah, sometimes I buy a little bit too much, but today it's gonna have a use.
Now, I didn't have much of an idea of how I would do this, but I figured I would just start by using
I wonder what
spray
happened to his
foam
finger.
connect little pieces of the wood together, and then I continued to stack the wood up to make it look like the trunk of a tree, and then I stuck some branches onto it.
All right, this is a little bit looking.
What is that?
Still gotta
That
go
glue
in.
really
You know.
reminds me of
Oh
poop.
my god.
Kind of looks like, you know how like sometimes trees will have sap sort of like seeping out of it? It kind of looks like that.
You think he's just gonna let like mice loose in here? Since that's what the snake eats?
That's what you do. Yeah, I mean, some people will feed their snakes frozen food, but I think it's a lot better for the snake if it's alive so that it can actually like hunt it down and use its natural instincts.
I hope we get to see it hunt. That'd be crazy. I don't think I've ever watched a snake hunt before.
This out. It's just a bunch of carpet moss. I'm basically just gonna attach it to
Oh,
the tree,
cool.
so it looks like
That's
there's
like
bunch
a-
of leaves coming off
a
of it. Should look
rug
pretty
for
good.
the
Let's do
snake.
that.
And so using my hot glue gun, that's exactly what I did.
He's not
After
putting it on
the
the
moss
floor,
all
Jack.
over it, I covered most of the exposed spray foam with some dirt and then glued a couple actual leaves hanging from the tree.
All right.
All right, this looks just like a tree, and we're
Better.
done.
Yeah.
The leaves
Anyways,
look
that
fake
means we
now.
can
That
move
looks
to the
awesome.
Right side DIY decoration. And to start that, I've got the base right here.
This
That's
is a normal
pretty
cave
cool.
decoration that you could buy for snakes to hide in. But I ended up getting out some real rocks and using more spray foam to attach them all
That dude
around
loves
the
the
cave.
spray
You know, I
foam.
didn't want it to just look like a
It
normal
works
boring
out so
decoration
well.
that I bought. So yeah, this made it look nice and natural.
All
Wow.
right, there we go. A
That
nice
came
little
together.
rock
I wonder if
cave,
people
and
use
as
spray
you can
foam
see, it's pretty
in the
deep
real
and dark in
houses.
there. Wait, let me see if I can turn
Probably.
Wait, what's the point of doing a rock cave and then covering it all?
You can just see down in there. It's nice.
For that part, Alec.
What are you talking
for
about?
the inside part.
Like he made a rock cave and then he put dirt all over the rocks that he spray foamed on there.
Yeah, to make it look like it's realistic and natural, like you would find outside. If you went outside, you would see this, Alec. It would be out there. Stupid?
I am pretty stupid, so.
No, it-
It's okay.
Yeah.
We all have our moments.
Nice and pretty.
Some way more than
Like
others.
to go and hide in there.
But now for the final step to finishing this foresty dream home is to get some plants.
All right, and as usual,
Ooh,
I
the
don't have any
expensive
plants,
part.
So let's go to the plant store.
Here we go. This is where it's gonna be
Plant store. And as you can see, they got
$1,000 for a
nice and
plant.
Beautiful selection here, but I actually just need to.
This
pick
is such
out,
a
like, the
scam in
smallest
here.
ones I could find. Okay,
This
here's
has
the
to be a
small
front for a
section.
drug
Let me just
cartel or
pick out
something.
Some of this grass stuff. Oh, I'm gonna get this little one here, and oh man, I was just gonna get two, but I'm just gonna let myself go crazy.
I can't believe he didn't go to
After
Walmart.
driving home, I got the plants out and put them
How
around
much?
in the enclosure.
He doesn't even
But
say how
after
much,
doing
that's how
that,
much
I
it
still
was.
felt like there wasn't enough greenery, so I got some of the carpet moss
Yeah,
from
agreed.
earlier and scattered that around too.
All right, and now to finish
Nice.
this off, I just want to put a
This
nice
is coming together
bulb
nicely.
right there, and then put a UV
We should get some
bulb
carpet
right
moss
next
for
to
your
it.
guys'
You can
house.
see, looks pretty good.
I'd wear
Got
it as a
those
hat.
going.
As you can see in the basking spot under the heat lamp, it was a nice 90 degrees. And over in the cooler
Oh
side
my
of the
gosh,
enclosure,
that is
it was about
hot.
75 degrees.
That's
which
the
is
cooler
perfect for the
side?
snake, so it can decide how hot
Dude's living
or
in
cold
Florida.
it wants to be. Well, anyways, this enclosure has been completely transformed from that pretty trash home
Yo,
into
it
a
looks
chunk
so
of
good.
nature
That
Yo,
actually looks great.
that is pretty
Wow.
awesome.
That is the biggest glow up of 2025. Round of applause for Terra Green.
It's not over yet, though, Alec. You could still beat that.
10,000 likes and Alec will beat that.
I would love to transform like an entire room, not just have like a little container, but like an entire room into an exhibit or whatever it would be called.
Ooh, Ants Canada style.
Yes, but like literally an entire room. How epic would that be?
I
That's
could buy
what
some
wanna see.
cockroaches and I'll unleash them in your office to
I
start.
already have some of those, and they're not as pleasant as you might think.
All right, well, I guess let me just take these paper towels out. I've just been keeping the Kenyan sand boa in this temporary enclosure.
Ew.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, he was hiding.
They're gonna
Alright,
love
I'm
it.
just gonna go and pick them up just like this. And welcome to your new home.
She
boys.
loves
Hope you
it.
like
Oh, she's
okay,
burrowing
he's just already
instantly.
straight
Already
there.
at
Alright, I
it.
guess let's do it.
Yeah,
Yo.
when I said
No
these
time
guys
for
like to burrow on the
introductions.
floor, I really meant it.
Wow.
I don't know how long
That
it's
was
been
instant.
since these guys had the chance.
Oh my
to be able
God.
to
It has
do
been
it, but you can tell he
fiending
was
to
loving it.
burrow.
Bro, I don't even know where the snake went. Oh, wait, no, you can see its tail right there.
Ooh,
But
careful.
Other than that, it's
It might
completely
attack
just
you.
disappeared.
But if you look closely in this footage, you can see the dirt slightly moving
Ooh.
around. from
What
where
the
snake was
heck?
digging
That's
underground.
awesome.
Well, I want to get this guy
That's
fed
like me
right
under the
away, 'cause I
covers.
don't know when he last ate. But yeah, I don't have any mice right now to feed it, so I got to go to the store to go buy them.
Oh, live mice are frozen. Live mice are frozen. Predict.
Probably frozen.
Live.
I'm going live.
I'm at Petco right now, and let me just find the frozen mice.
No.
Bang.
Oh.
Nailed
That's probably
it.
for the best.
Nailed
All
it.
these just kept in little bags like this small rat. But since my sandbow is kind of small, let's just get some of these super small.
Yeah, how is it
mice.
gonna eat a whole mouse? It's so tiny.
Some mice are really, really,
When
really,
I got home,
really
I let
small.
water run over one of
Yeah.
the frozen mice to thaw it out, and once it was thawed, I took it out the package to feed to the snake.
Ew.
Aw.
Oh God, it's naked too.
So cute and
It doesn't have
cuddly.
any
The snake
hair.
was somewhere burrowed in the floor.
that
So
is
I
still
just
a
laid the
big
mouse on
mouse
top
for it to
and waited
eat.
about 10 minutes to see if maybe it would pick up the scent or something.
But Alex, snakes usually eat things at least like half of their body size. So it's gonna eat that, and then it's not gonna have to eat for like maybe a week.
Exactly. Next question.
Wow.
Get owned, Alex.
That
But
sounds
after
pretty
10
fun,
minutes,
actually.
I saw literally nothing.
You want something new every
Okay,
day?
well, clearly having the mouse just stay still is not working. So I'm gonna
Yeah, you
pick
gotta
it up
act
by the
like
tail
it's
again
alive.
and kinda start
There you
shaking it
go.
up and
Oh,
down
this is
on top of
messed
the
up.
dirt, and I'm hoping
Shake
to
it.
create little
That's what you gotta
vibrations,
do.
Which will set off the snake's predator instincts and I'll come
Imagine
pop up,
this
hopefully,
mouse's
around
mother.
Now.
Okay, let's
So I
not.
did that for about 5 minutes.
Just
and
having to watch your son
unfortunately,
get
not even
bounced
that
around
much.
like this.
I think I knew why the snake
Nope.
wasn't coming up to eat. So to fix the problem, I drove
Maybe
to
he
the
wasn't
pet store again,
hungry.
and this time came home with a way smaller mouse. So
Oh.
I did that same thing with
thought he
the
was gonna come
smaller
back with
mouse
a live
and wiggled
one.
it
See,
above
I was
where the snake
right.
was, and immediately this happened.
Alec was right.
Whoa.
Yo, it just ate it. Okay. I was trying to do that for a while, but look at that. That was so cool.
It kinda looks like a little
Popped up out
pig.
of the dirt, and oh man,
Yeah. It
does,
imagine
yeah.
being a live mouse and you have to deal with that.
And as you can see, it didn't
Oh.
take long
Oh,
for the snake
whoa,
to
it's all wrapped
awesome.
around
its
it.
mouth so it can completely
This is
engulf
National
it.
Geographic.
Oh, God.
This snake, bro, he is just going
He's
for
re-killing it. It's already dead. You're
This is
good.
kind of sad.
around the mouth. You can even see his mouth.
Oh.
my God, that is
Wow.
You see, because this is a boa,
That's
they wrap
incredible.
around the prey to constrict it. Even though it is a little disgusting, it's one of the coolest
Wow.
A little
Oh.
disgusting.
Dude.
Okay, he cut
a
away.
new home. It was super fun building.
I
it.
kinda
And
wanna
remember,
get
guys,
one
make sure
now.
to check out the Mr. thing of someone selling a pet axolotl's home. When I clicked on it, I
Axolotl.
saw an absolute disgrace
That is
of
dirty.
an enclosure. I mean, the water was brown, there was random trash, and
like
somehow
Alec's
there was
toilet.
a live axolotl inside. Apparently,
Wait, there's an axolotl in there, guys? Seriously?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's what he just said, Jack.
It's
Yeah, but
definitely
can you
dead.
believe that? Look at how does an axolotl live in that? It's green. You can't even see what's inside of there. That is insane.
I think that tank doesn't have a filter.
What?
And thank you guys for watching. Does it or does it not have a filter? On our next episode, we'll be checking out Alec's bedroom.
That water probably stinks so bad. Oh my God.
So it is like your toilet.
Why do
the
you
seller's
keep bringing my
uncle
toilet
gave it
into
to him,
this?
And he needed someone to take care of it for
Only
him.
$5.
$5.
$5 for long.
That's pretty cheap.
Let me go save this axolotl.
So I drove out to the seller and bought the tank with the axolotl for $5.
Dang. If that's spilled in his car, it's done.
In my
Oh.
car, and we gotta take
It's
this
in
home
there?
to see if the
Dude,
axolotl
that is
inside
so
gonna
weird.
He has to keep the water in there or the axolotl would die. Are you guys dumb?
No, but normally when you transport like fish and things that need water, you just put them in a little bag.
Have you ever seen Nemo, Adam? Clearly not. P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
I didn't know you guys were fish transporting experts. My bad.
Do you think the pink things on the left are its ears? It looks like that's the axolotl's ears. Maybe it's a giant axolotl. His ears are like huge and poking out.
It has transformed because it has been in this water for too long. It's now a mutant.
It's a mutant axolotl.
survive. And I really hope it's okay, because if it is, I'm gonna completely revamp this home into a dream home paradise so we can
Epic.
give this axolotl his best life.
Quickly, I
Look
went
like
home
Karate
and
Kid.
set up a filter in the water so I would be able to see
Boom.
inside. But after letting it run for 30 minutes, the water literally did not clear
Nope.
up at
I think it
all.
got
Oh my
worse.
God.
Dude, that has to be the dirtiest water ever. Even if you run a filter through it, nothing happens.
How much money for you guys to drink that water?
$5 probably.
Is the axolotl in my cup?
Yes.
Probably like 50.
Waste, so I'm just gonna try and dig around and scoop it out.
I
with
love the
this
bamboo
thing.
background.
See anything?
So I started to
I think
take
that's real.
each decoration out one by one, and it didn't
I'm
take
starting not
long
to believe
until
there's an
I saw
axolotl
this
in there.
little thing
Oh,
at
oh,
the
it's
bottom
right there.
of the net.
It-
I had
it
found
actually is
the
in there.
axolotl,
Wow, look at
and
that.
Thankfully,
What?
it was
Whoa.
still in
Alec
good
got
health,
proven
so I
wrong
quickly
real
moved
time.
it out into a
Oh,
temporary tank
wait.
and was
The axolotl probably thought it was blind its whole life because it couldn't see like an inch in front of it. And now it's been awakened. It's like when Logan Paul put on the seeing glasses.
And then he started to cry.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh my God, I can see!
I can see blue, green, purple.
Yeah, that's what the axolotl is going through right now.
super surprised by what I saw.
Guys, this is not a normal axolotl. This is actually a super rare axolotl. It has the
What?
golden trait, and it also looks like it's albino and a baby.
What?
To put in
That is so
perspective
many
how rare
things.
This whole tank was like $5, as you know.
This
I could
is a
probably
mud
sell this
axolotl.
right now as it is for over $100.
And little did I know, this axolotl was even
Yo.
rarer than I thought.
How?
It actually had a special gene that made it be able to glow in the dark.
What?
Yeah, this video is insane. Anyways,
$5?
to start the
I didn't know that
water
was possible.
transformation
Take my money.
process,
Take my
number
money.
One was to empty out that disgusting sewage water.
Okay, I don't even
Yummy.
know where to begin with how bad this tank is. Pretty much every decoration's a fake plastic one. The substrate
Gross.
is absolutely nasty, and just
Turd
the whole
water.
thing has no structure to it. It's
I thought it looked
plain
pretty
Just
cool.
throw it
So I
out.
took
Throw
all
the whole
trash
thing out.
decorations
Looks like
and threw
Adam
them in
made
the
that.
garbage where they belong. Then I
Isn't
emptied
that
out all
bad?
the sand, since I'm pretty sure that's what was causing the water to be so brown.
And finally, what the heck is this?
That's what I said.
This seller's
That's the coolest part.
picture of bamboo on the wall. It doesn't fit.
It's
And it
so
doesn't even make
tiny.
sense. Like axolotls don't.
It looks
live
like a
with
girl in
bamboo.
college
Yeah,
threw that up on her
Bamboo.
wall.
What?
Anyways, now that we're back to the bare bones of this tank, the first step is to build the lake bed base. To build that, we start by
Potato.
just putting a ton of sand in
Potato.
here and piling it up in a mound in the middle of the tank because I have a cool idea
Ooh.
for this.
Ooh, he's gonna make a
The
volcano.
axolotl axolotls live
Sand
at the bottom
mountain.
of lakes in the wild. So to build that in here, I stuck some wooden branches in the sand and surrounded them in a ton of river rocks. Which, if you're wondering the names of them, this type is called a Tahaiji stone, and this
Of
one
course.
is called a Seiryu stone.
Obviously.
I don't know who names these, but I would just call them smooth stone and rough stone. Those are better names. Anyways, I also want to cover these mounds in tons of aquatic plants, which if you've seen my channel before, you know these are extremely expensive.
I mean, look at all these. This totals to $125.
Bro bought the axolotl, the tank, the amazing bamboo background for $5, and he threw it all away. Now he spent $125 on some plants?
Are you kidding me? That is a 500% increase.
What? He's doing a home renovation right now. He better at least get $500 when he sells his axolotl. Right, Alec?
I think it's worth it because plants are like the core of the world, you know? They make oxygen. You guys are like screaming like it's nothing, but plants are so important to how everyone and everything lives. So obviously it's gonna be expensive.
What are you talking about? The political and economical environment of our society? What are we talking about, bro? It's an axolotl enclosure.
Wait, Alec's the type of dude. Wait, I might be able to sell him dirt. Alec, I could give you fresh natural dirt from outside, from the Himalayan mountains.
Sold! Name and price.
$500?
Sold!
You guys saw it here first. Alec is dumb.
Hey, all right.
Please subscribe.
Well, I forced
Maybe.
myself to forget the price while I planted them around, and I made it look absolutely beautiful. I put the taller plants near the back of the mound and the smaller plants up near the front, since it adds some nice depth in here, or something like that. All right, it's starting to
does look pretty good.
But
I
to
like it.
complete the sides, this is where we're going to put the custom DIY builds. And you see, in the wild, axolotls like to hide in little rock caves because that's where they feel safe from predators. So I'm gonna build a custom
big
little
cave.
cave on the right side, and to start that, I found this basket in my house.
Oh, this
That's
is gonna
coffee.
Work perfectly. Let's just get that out of there.
With
It's
this,
the
I started by
basket,
getting out
Alex.
a
Oh my gosh.
heavy-duty saw and cutting a hole in it that would serve as the entrance to the cave. And then I quickly sanded down the rough edges and used my hot glue gun.
I can
to
watch
start
him sand down
gluing
all
these
day.
little thin gray rocks all around it. to
Oh,
obviously
that's
give
actually
it that
smart.
Cave look. And after I was done gluing
Yeah.
all those on, it actually looked
pretty
pretty
cool.
solid.
What?
As you can see,
That looks
some of
way
the
better
hot
than the
glue
store
I
I'll give it
one.
used
7 out of
to
10
was still
schmeckles.
exposed, so I quickly covered that in some pebbles. Once I was done, I put
Oh,
the
genius.
enclosure in, and it didn't really fit. So I took it out and rearranged some of the rocks and put it back in, and boom, perfect fit.
That is
There we go. I think
perfect.
that cave looks pretty good in the grand scheme of things, and yeah, it is a pretty small entrance to get inside. But obviously, the rare axolotl is still a baby, so it should be able to fit in there just fine.
Anyways, I finished it off by putting some plants right out in front and a couple big rocks on top to make it look more cavey. There we go. Everything's starting to come together
looks
well. But now
sweet.
it's time to design.
The only thing that cave is missing is a Fortnite setup, and then I would move in.
It is literally an axolotl. It cannot play Fortnite.
Oh, Lord.
What?
Okay.
Are you serious? Are you really being serious right now?
Alec, you were just going on about how plants are important for the world, and then you're gonna pull that out of your butt? Did you take your medicine today?
I thought axolotls could play Fortnite.
He now speaks differently.
I don't understand. We lost Alec.
And if you guys remember, that first version of the tank had this big, ugly,
Put it back!
wallpaper.
Boo.
Put it back!
Boo. Bamboo.
Make it just like bamboo themed, you know. We gotta keep
Yes.
a little bit of the
Get some
original.
real bamboo
all
in
in.
there.
Wouldn't really be transforming if we didn't. So let's get that done.
Put a
For the
panda
first
in there.
decoration, I of
What is-
course got out some.
Guys, what is the scariest plant? Bamboo!
Oh, he was doing a setup joke.
I was doing a setup joke. All right, did I get you there or no?
No! No!
round sticks of it'd be
guess
bamboo,
not.
you know.
Is he making a
On
wood
each stick
instrument?
of bamboo, I started to drill little holes. You see,
I kinda wish
axolotls
he
like
put
to have
actual
resting
bamboo
spots near
plants.
the top of their enclosures. That way, they can easily swim up and gulp.
I
air
can't believe
from the
axolotls are
surface.
real
So to build
animal.
something like that, I got out some string and started to thread all the bamboo together. I kind of felt like a grandma doing this, you know, sewing away with a needle. Yeah, it was pretty fun though. Anyways, I hot glued the ends of the string
don't
so
think
they
that's
wouldn't
sewing.
move. And boom, check this out.
It's
a
kind of
bamboo
sewing.
hammock that the axolotl can rest on. In order to get it attached to the top of the enclosure, I once again used some hot glue to put on some little section.
This axolotl is gonna have so much exposed glue once he puts the water in. That dude's gonna be like on a glue high, just floating around.
What if he gets stuck on one of the glue sticks?
It feels like I'm floating and flying at the same time.
By the time it was complete.
All right, there we go. Check the hammock out. I'm sure the axolotl's gonna
That's
like.
definitely
lay on
gonna
this.
fall.
Yeah.
What?
Okay,
That's
all right, I
definitely
see the
gonna
vision.
fall.
And
I
so
see the
in this,
vision.
It looks like a
I'm gonna put
trap.
Some alive actual bamboo.
There it
curly for
is.
some reason.
That's
don't
what
know
I
why,
wanted.
but I'm gonna plant this.
That is cool.
the same.
Live
So I put each
curved
of the
bamboo.
bamboos there under the
I've
hammock
never
and
seen
covered it
spirally
in a
bamboo
mound of
before.
sand.
But I'm not done yet.
He's gonna have a lot of problems with that bamboo in like 2 weeks because that stuff grows fast.
Yes, like
It's gonna-
in Minecraft too with the sugarcane.
It just goes
Okay.
straight up into the sky.
Okay, Bamboo King.
Bamboo!
Bamboo! Ah!
Aquarium too. Well,
Got him.
if I'm being honest, it's probably still gonna be kind of normal, but it's gonna be cooler looking.
Now to build this thing, I first got out some giant plastic
put
boards
back in
and
the
put
More
them
glue.
together to
Oh
make
my
one
gosh.
giant board. Then I covered it all with some black felt.
Now you're probably wondering why I built this giant black platform, but basically the reason is because I can go and put it right behind the tank just like this. And then now what I'm gonna do is
It's really making me angry that it doesn't fit perfectly.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
This
just
like-
an inch.
called plant pockets, glue them to the back of that, and basically what this allows me to do is, you know, put plants in them, and we're gonna have some overhanging plants in here.
Ooh,
But first, I needed to
that
go
is
get the
neat.
plants. So like always, I drove to
Walmart,
Yeah,
Walmart,
I'm at now,
Walmart,
and look at
Walmart.
this. Bro, this is usually where all the plants are. For some reason, they replaced
Put a
them all
Christmas
with
tree in there.
plastic Christmas trees. Who cares about these? I want my plants back. All they got is these stupid roses.
Yeah, it turns out the plants are gone from Walmart for the season, so instead I had to go to a normal, boring plant shop and
Aw,
get the plants there.
lame.
Okay, I was kind of sad that I had to abandon Walmart, but this was only like $50 for all
whole
these
video is
plants.
ruined.
Dang, that's actually a good deal. It's definitely cheaper than those aquatic plants. We don't talk about those though.
When I got home, I got out the plants and put them all inside their little pockets.
And dang, check this whole thing out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
All
All
right,
right.
go around and look at the back. Yeah, it's kind of curving.
More glue.
It kind of gives a cool effect, and you know, it makes the plant leaves drip over the top.
Anyways,
I
now
like
to
my
complete-
plants drippy.
Guys, I think I'm just a hater, but I don't like that at all.
You don't like the hanging plant part?
I don't like the hanging plants, and also there's no. It's just a black background now. It used to be at least bamboo. It was something.
Damn
Ah.
what?
Now it's black.
I agree with Alec. I feel like, yeah, he maybe was just trying to get the video done and then he kind of just like threw that together. I like the idea, but maybe the execution just wasn't there.
You guys are haters, man. Haters.
I ain't hating.
No hate here. I do love this guy's YouTube channel.
No hate, all love.
Comment down below, Alec hater.
Comment down below. Adam's an idiot.
I just
Nobody's gonna
put some
comment
finishing
that.
I'm kidding,
touches,
I'm
and what that
kidding.
means is I first filled it up with some cycled water and attached a filter on it.
Okay, I've never used one of these filters before, but apparently it's pretty cool.
Whoa.
Just gotta go and plug it in.
That's
and
neat. It's like a
here.
fountain
It's gonna shoot out
filter?
water. Yeah, look
I
at
was
that.
plugging ASMR.
Epic.
These, little water
You guys ever get super
But I guess when I
satisfied
want
when
it to be
people
quiet,
plug
I can
stuff
just
in?
go like that, and there we go. Can't really
Yeah.
First try.
Now
Only
I
on the
saved
first
the best
try.
thing for last. This little gift
Is that the
present.
axolotl?
This
No.
is actually cool.
Imagine it's the axolotl in the box. He's just been like keeping it.
Help, help.
Now he's in there like this. He's in there like this. Hello. Hello there.
Where are your socks and shoes? What the?
I'm inside! Who wears socks and shoes inside, you freak?
I always put some cloth over them, dog.
No, I'm a free bird. Cuckoo.
This has nothing to do with axolotls.
Just saying, it's just chilling. See, it is, dude. It's actually doing what I said.
What
That
did
is
he do
not
to
an
the
axolotl. I think
What
he
did he
killed
do
it.
to it?
It's not the axolotl, but it's doing the pose.
It just kind of glows.
He's gonna keep that right outside. That's actually his brother that died. He's like, this is how gonna happen to you if you don't follow what I say. You follow me. I'm your leader now.
Why is that what popped in your head?
Adam, I am going to reach out to PETA and let them know that you are not allowed to have axolotls.
That's what I would do.
I think that the axolotl is gonna think that axolotl it's God. It's like the
Oh.
God holy axolotl that
So a
escaped.
female.
I don't think they have religion in the axolotl universe, but I could be wrong.
Colors.
Anyways,
Jon
this
Snow.
is now completely transformed, and it's time to not only add in the golden axolotl to his new home, but show off exactly what
Hey,
axolotl
hey, hey,
really
hey,
is
hey,
and
what's
show
going
off
on?
how it can
Hey,
literally
blur it.
hey,
Unblur
wow, why is
the
it glowing?
footage.
So I scooped it up out of its temporary enclosure, and bada bing.
There we
Wow,
go.
he loves it.
Welcome to your new home. Right away, he
Majestical.
started to explore
He
around
loves it.
his new tank, and eventually made his way into the cave I built for him.
Okay, so the axolotl's in the cave right now, so this is the
Axolotl.
perfect time to test out some foods with him to see which he likes the most.
What's the first one?
First up, I want to test just some normal fish food.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he's actually gonna eat it.
Vipagran.
Fish food is not axolotl food, but let's try it out.
So I dropped them
part
in
fish.
and let them sit for a little while, but yeah, he didn't really eat them, and he didn't even come out to take a look at them. A little later, the axolotl left the cave,
Let's
so I
go.
got
Meat
out
with
the second
vegetables.
food, bloodworms.
But these are
Ooh.
frozen bloodworms, so to make them, not frozen anymore, just kind of plop the packet in a little cup of water like that.
I remember
We can go
feeding
and
my
just
fish
take a
these
big
back in the day.
chunk, Put it in right next.
That's kind of gross.
And it didn't take long long until he noticed
Come on,
it. and
there it
instantly
is.
took
There
a
we go.
snap out,
Dinner
eating the whole
time.
pile up.
Dude,
That's basically
oh
a
my
Big
God.
Mac for an
Chew,
axolotl.
bro, chew.
did the
Anyways,
one
I
bite
got the
challenge.
third and final
Most animals
food
don't
source
chew.
out, night crawlers.
Which are just worms, basically. But they're
That
giant
worm's
worms
bigger than
compared to
him.
Those tiny little blood worms.
No way he's eating
here
that.
we
He's
go.
gotta
We got
chop
a
it
nice
up,
little
right?
tiny piece of worm, and we're
You're
just
gonna kill it.
dropping in right
That worm
next
is
to the axolotl.
humongous.
After wiggling it around in front of him, he picked up the
Oh,
scent.
he did
and
chop it
as
in
you
half,
would
though.
expect, Yep, he started going crazy.
Yo, he just
eating
ate the whole thing in one
too.
bite. Oh my god.
Wow.
Shaking it up.
So an axolotl is like a snake. The dude is literally like a snake. He eats the entire thing.
Adam, I've seen you eat your bananas like that, so don't act like it's that crazy.
No, for real. The banana would have to be this big if that was actual size to the worm. I've never eaten a banana that big. I've eaten it like
But
this
would
big.
you? But if it
eaten,
was that, you would try it. I know you would
You
try
only
it.
get one opportunity in life.
Good axolotl. Oh my gosh, this guy's so cool.
Ew, it's still
Actually got
squirming
this guy
outside of its
$5.
mouth. That's
I
so
can't believe
gross.
that.
Anyways, later that day, I was watching some videos about axolotls and figured out that sometimes they can be bred to literally glow in the dark under UV light. Which, I mean, look at that. That is just so cool.
Okay, so I got all the lights turned off in my room, and it's nighttime. So I got this little light, and when you click the button, it turns on the UV
It
rays.
can
and,
glow
that's
in the
blinding. But anyways, I
dark?
just want to shine this in here and see if my axolotl actually has that glow in the dark ability.
What
I actually
are
have
we
no idea.
talking about?
Oh!
Okay, wait.
Wow.
I did not expect that to work.
Oh gosh,
Oh
he's
my
scared of
gosh,
the
it's
light.
like,
He's scared
no,
of the
you've
light.
exposed my secret power.
That's
No.
actually pretty cool. So for whatever reason, if I can't
That's
find
so
an
cool.
axolotl, I just
Did you guys ever go laser tagging?
All the time.
And then it had like the UV light on you.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I have dandruff, and it was always so embarrassing every time I would go in there, and it'd just be like specks all over my shirt.
Sometimes I would have stains on my pants. It was really weird.